saying dumb things to your bilingual kids can actually be very smart. By the end of this video, you'll know one of my most powerful, most playful secrets for dramatically increasing a child's exposure and engagement to the minority language. I'm Adam Beck, and this is Bilingual Super Kids, the channel that can help you maximize your success and your joy raising bilingual or multilingual kids. And if you want to work with me personally, visit me at bilingualsuperkids.com. You can book a free strategy call, and I'll provide direct advice and encouragement. So let me tell you a true story. We're having dinner one day, and I'm asking my 5th grade daughter about her weekly after-school club at her local elementary school. These club activities are an option starting in the 4th grade, so my 3rd grade son doesn't have an after-school club yet. The conversation starts something like this. How was dodgeball club today? I ask my daughter. Fun, she says. I'm glad you had fun, I say. My daughter replies by silently chewing a mouthful of rice. I bet you like dodgeball club better than chess club, I say. Last time she had chess club, which wasn't her first choice. Yeah, my daughter responds, then quietly sips her tea. What's better about dodgeball club? I ask. It's fun, she says. I think you get the picture. The conversations I was having with my kids as they grew older were shrinking. And because they were shrinking, they were shortchanging my children's engagement in the minority language. Does that sound familiar? It's a very common problem. But here's the thing. I tried not to let our conversations end there. When talking about daily life was dry and unproductive, I instinctively began saying dumb things instead. Let me show you what I mean. Let's continue with the second part of the conversation I had with my kids about club activities at school. The conversation could have quickly died after my first attempts with my daughter fizzled out. But this time I was able to save it and transform it into playful, productive banter by taking the topic in a very different direction. So here's the second part of our conversation. I should volunteer to lead one of those club activities, I say. You're not a teacher, my daughter says. I've already gotten her speaking, haven't I? You don't have to be a teacher, I reply. The leader of the chess club was some guy from the neighborhood, right? Then my son chimes in. You're not good at chess, he says. I wouldn't do a chess club, I say. Now they're getting curious. What club would you do? My daughter asks. I would do the Treasure Hunters Club. What's that? My son asks. We dig for treasure, I say. The kids bring shovels and we dig up the schoolyard. You can't do that, my daughter says. Yes, we can. I'll talk to the principal. He'd be so happy if we found some treasure. I'd even give him some gold coins. You can't dig holes in the schoolyard, she says. And now she's laughing. Don't worry, we'll fill them back up after we find the treasure, I say. What if you don't find any? My son asks. It's a big playground, I say. There's got to be treasure under the ground somewhere. It might take a few months, but we'll find it. It's called perseverance, my friends. That's some new vocabulary. If you just dig long enough and deep enough, you're sure to find treasure. But what about during recess? My daughter says. Kids will be falling into the holes. They could break their leg. That's a good point. Well then, I'll start another club, the Emergency Rescue Club. After the Treasure Hunters Club finds the treasure, the Emergency Rescue Club will run out there to rescue the kids that fell into the holes during recess. My daughter says, but they might be in the holes for months. My son adds, with broken legs. I realize that, I say, and that's why the Emergency Rescue Club will run out there as fast as they can. I'll need some fast runners for that club. How about you? I ask my son. I won't be in your dumb clubs, he says. My clubs aren't dumb. Finding treasure and rescuing kids with broken legs isn't dumb. Okay, my son is right. My clubs are dumb. But that's the whole point, really. By saying dumb things, pursuing imaginary talk that appeals to a child's keen sense of fun and absurdity, an engaging conversation can be created out of thin air. These playful conversations not only benefit the bond between parent and child, they can generate greater amounts of exposure in the minority language on a regular basis. And the beauty of imaginary talk extends even beyond that, because access to this kind of conversation is limited only by our willingness to be silly. As much as I urge parents to be proactive about speaking to their kids about the real world, about the actual events of daily life, the plain fact is this source of conversation is inherently limited because the experiences of our lives are limited. And as I mentioned, older children tend to grow less talkative about their lives than they were at a younger age, when they often wouldn't stop talking. But there are no limits at all to imaginary talk. And because children naturally find it fun and appealing, it can serve as a kind of lure for engaging even older kids in conversation and advancing their language development. When it comes to our children's progress, the input from imaginary talk is just as valuable to language acquisition as exposure about the real world. And in fact, it could even be richer in some ways, since imaginary talk can potentially include words and concepts not found in the child's daily experience. To me, saying dumb things as a mindful and playful habit is a key tactic for maximizing a child's language development. And it's one of my biggest secrets for the success I've experienced with my students and my kids. Imaginary talk like this can be so productive and also so beneficial for enriching the bond between parent and child. In fact, it's worth imagining what our children will remember most about us after we're gone from this world. Perhaps the strongest impression they'll be left with is the playfulness of our spirit, an idea I stress in this video. Imaginary talk not only nurtures bilingual ability through the years of childhood, it helps foster those golden memories of us for many more years to come. If you enjoyed this video, please like it and please leave a comment below. I'm always happy to get feedback and I'll be glad to respond.